You knew it was coming. You had to know it was coming. The second Cheryl Miller said something nice about Caitlin Clark, you knew it was coming. And I'm hearing all kinds of crap. I'm sorry, hearing and reading all kinds of crap about how Cheryl Miller insulted the WNBA players. Yeah, she called them a bunch of big dummies. Yeah, she did. If I hand you $100 and you put it in a paper shredder, are you a big dummy? Yeah. If I set you up to make bread, are you a big and you screw it up, are you a big dummy? Yeah, you are. So if XYZ person is bringing all kinds of attention to your game, your sport, the thing you do for a living, which has been largely ignored for the better part of the last decade or more. And this particular person, regardless of where they're from, their background, they bring this type of attention to your game that you play, which means you're going to make more bread. And all you do is spew negativity about that individual. Does that make you a big dummy? You're damn right it does. So when Cheryl Miller said what she had to say and called the WNBA players who have been outright, not all of them, but many of them have been downright, I don't even know what to say, downright just out of pocket, unnecessary, and you mess with your bread, you're a big dummy. So why are you bothered that she called some people big dummies? I mean, there were some big dummies in the NBA when LeBron came into the league. We didn't have social media like this in 2003. A lot of these social media platforms didn't even exist in 2003. So if Darius Miles had said what he had to say then, today, you bet your ass we'd all be calling that motherfucker a big dummy. You damn right we would. All of us would. But because it's Caitlin Clark and Cheryl Miller refers to someone as some people as big dummies, you got this outrage. You have this anger. You have this, oh, Cheryl Miller is this. Cheryl Miller is that. Fuck Cheryl Miller. Fuck Reggie Miller. All that stuff being spewed on the internet, on Twitter, on X, wherever, on videos. You got to be kidding me. Because she said something that, guess what? You know what? See, you missed something. You missed something real. They hit you right in the face, but you missed it. Did you hear Stephen A? How keep calling him Stephen A. Smith? Did you hear Steven Jackson or Matt Barnes disagree with her? No, you didn't. You know why? Because they agree with her. If they disagreed, you bet your ass both of those men would have clapped back on Cheryl Miller. Period. And you damn well know it because Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson don't take shit from anybody. But I don't hear anybody coming on X and calling Steven Jackson a coon. I don't hear anybody on X calling Matt Barnes a coon. Man, but you're calling Cheryl Miller one because she gave an opinion that you don't like? Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, powered by Come On Now, the podcast, where we talk facts over feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont, aka Rudy the Hammer. For those of you who are back again, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for jumping on board. Leave a comment, like the video. For those of you who are new, leave a comment, like the video. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. There are videos already up, but I always look at things. I kind of want to take in others' opinions before I give my own because I want to hear what other people have to say. I'm kind of an analytical thinker that way. I know I have a podcast called Rudy's Rant, and you think I'm just going to fly off the handle, and sometimes I do. But even when I fly off the handle, a lot of what I say has been carefully constructed. Cheryl Miller is damn near 60 years old. If not, she's already 60. You know how funny and I'm gonna say funny, but how pathetic it is? Sorry, she's 61. You know how pathetic it is when you hear people half her age who haven't been through a speck of what that woman has been through refer to her in that way? The commentary from people in their 20s and 30s, giving their even 40s, giving their opinion about a woman who grew up in LA, went to SC, was largely considered the greatest women's basketball player ever at the time that she was playing. Even considered that 15 years later, because her career, got stopped due to injury, one of the most respected and revered players in the history of women's basketball. And because she gives an opinion that some folks don't like, because she's not kissing the ass of a certain player. In fact, here's the problem. She didn't say a damn negative thing about the player that the people that are speaking ill of her, she didn't say a negative thing about Angel Reese. Nothing. Not a word. She called players in the league big dummies. And you have a problem with that. So your response to her is to call her a coon? You think that's all right? You think that's okay? What makes you not that? Well, because you stand up for every cause and you can never say a negative word against people of your skin tone. I can say plenty of negative things about idiot Cubans, idiot Italians, idiot white folks, and no problem about it. No problem with it. But apparently now we live in a world where, God forbid, you criticize a black person and you're black, you are this. Who is she referring to as dummies when she must have graduated from Coon University? All respect is lost, disappointed and disgusted. Who the fuck are you, Bahamian Girl 23? Been on your page. I've seen I had to take a look to see what you were about. You only tweet about women's basketball, so you say, but then you got posts there calling Stephen A. Smith a coon as well. You like to throw that name out and then you say it's not a slur. Do you even know what that came from? Do you even know where that came from? You should educate yourself a little bit on where that came from, because it sure didn't come from black people calling it to other black people, right? You would know that, right? I would think you do. I'm just, and I'm sure this video will somehow reach your desk at some point. These were postcards, just a little bit of an education. There were postcards made of this. I mean, this is something that white people did to black folks. And you're sitting here, maybe you find it okay. I mean, hey, if you think it's cool, then you go ahead and you do it. But this, I'm floored. This person sitting here saying it's not a slur. Oh boy, it's not, bro. That is the term that was used by racist white people to black folks. And she wants to use it against black people. I mean, man, oh man. Here's another one. This better be her last invitation to the All-Star because I guarantee the dummies have seen this. Yeah. And then calls her a coon again. Yeah. The dummies hopefully have seen this, and hopefully the dummies wake up by being educated by someone who's been around a lot longer than them, a lot longer than you. I'm flabbergasted that people stoop to this type of commentary about somebody because they don't like what she had to say, referring to some people as some dummies. Yeah, yeah, she did. She did. You mess with, I mean, I give you 100, I give you a pot of gold and you throw it in the trash can. Yeah, you're a big dummy. Caitlin Clark bringing these women a pot of gold. Hell, Angel Reese bringing these people a pot of gold. And they want to toss it in the trash can. But largely Caitlin Clark. You think that people were watching this game 5 years ago? I just listened to Nafisa Collier, and I got to do a video on that one too. Nafisa Collier sitting here telling people that unrivaled has given them leverage, that the people, the filled arenas, the TV ratings, and they're not even acknowledging the why. But we'll talk about that in another video. You look at some of these comments here. I mean, look at this. Fuck Cheryl and Reggie Miller. How did Reggie Miller catch a stray? He wasn't the one in the interview. Now all of a sudden, Reggie Miller was part of this interview. His sister said what she had to say. They're not our king. Just go look up pics of Reggie and his wife, Cheryl, etc. Bootlicking motherfuckers, huh? Okay. Let me tell you something. You refer to people in that type of in that it's just I'm just looking at this page right now. This is all anti everything. Like it is. Oh my goodness. Yeah. This is some comedic shit. Seriously, man. This is some. It's comedic, but it's sad. It just shows. It just shows. If you don't think that that's a slur, then I don't know what to tell. In fact, this person did say that it's not a slur. Colin, boy, boy, look at this. I mean, my word. Yeah, the biggest coon after Jason Whitlock is Stephen A. Smith, according to this woman. Coon, a bootlicker of white women. You don't have any self-respect, an embarrassment to your race. You can't spell, have poor grammar, illiterate. You are a degenerate liar. You can't see my size, but I see those thick frame glasses, blind butch and coon. Uh, a lying coon and a bum. She stay in your mouth. I don't even know who she's talking about. It doesn't matter. She is tapped in. Woo! Let's see here. Let me tell you something. Again, like I said, Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes didn't say a word. They didn't clap back, and they clap back at everything. Everything. Are you calling them that? Let me see. There was some other comment. Like this is another. There's so many things wrong about this. It ain't even funny. This is the famous Angel Reese supporter on Twitter. Again, if I hand you a pot of gold and you throw it in the trash can, are you a big dummy? Yeah, you are. And if you don't like being called a big dummy, then don't be a big fucking dummy. It ain't that complicated. It's not a complicated situation. Like I don't get it. But we all know the reason that this is happening. This isn't even about calling people big dummies. Because I think most people would agree that if you cut your nose to spite your face, you're a big dummy, right? Like if would you slice your face to make a point to somebody? No, you wouldn't. That make you a big dummy, right? This is all about the fact that Cheryl Miller said nice shit about Caitlin Clark. That's really what it comes down to. And the men there, Stephen Jackson, Matt Barnes, they both agree. We've all understood this by now that if you say something nice about Caitlin Clark, you're a misogynist, you're a sexist. If you're a man, you're a sexist and a misogynist. And if you're a woman who happens to be black, you're a coon. You hate your own people. That's what it comes down to at this point. But when Kate Martin says something nice, Lexi Hull says something nice about Angel Reese, it's perfect. Oh, look at, see, they're right. They know. No one said they weren't. But like, look at this crap. Like, this is another example. Well, that's not crap. This is people who say Caitlyn doesn't receive any kind of hate are the ones who throw hate and enable hate towards her. Plus, the fact that Cheryl Miller is getting hate for defending Caitlyn Clark just proves her right. Not only does Caitlyn get hate, but everyone. Caitlyn Clark had a fucking stalker. A fucking stalker. A stalker who was arrested, who happened to be a white person, by the way. Like, you think Caitlyn Clark doesn't get hate? Holy Christ. But this isn't even about getting hate. This is about you got a problem with somebody because they don't want to take on a storyline and a narrative to shit on somebody all the fucking time. You have a problem with it. This is the women's basketball. That's why I keep saying the hate, the evil, the reality TV. That's all this fucking sport is. And you'll never be taken seriously until you get rid of it. The two of the three best players in men's basketball in the NBA right now are Jokic and Luka. And there's not a person that would debate it or have a problem with it. But it remains. It remains. Paige Beckers might think she's beloved, but the second, if she ever was to get to that point, if she was ever regarded as the best player in women's basketball, I don't think it will ever happen. But if it happened, everybody would turn on her. Everybody would turn. The people that claim to love her would turn on her so damn fast because the thought of a white girl being the best player in a sport can't happen in women's basketball. It's not possible. It's not possible. Fact of the matter is, Caitlyn Clark is why you're watching. It's why 90% of us are watching. It's why 90% of us now know who the hell so many of these players are, or care to learn about them, or care to become more educated of the game. Hey, I'm sure Bahamian Girl's been watching the WNBA for 25 years. Bullshit. She talks everything women's basketball. She's got 342 followers on Twitter. 342 followers on Twitter. Oh, she talks women's basketball. Yeah, she's been doing it for a year, 2 years maybe, probably because of Angel Reese. And if that's why, then if that's true, then that's okay. I'm sure it's true because otherwise she'd have thousands and thousands of people following her. But she's got no problem spewing venom because she doesn't like something that somebody said. Whoa. You know, there's a lot of things you can say to somebody before you take it to a spot where you can't go back. You can say, I disagree with her. You can say, I think that was very uncalled for and that was rude and mean and unnecessary. No. Let's go hit the racial slur. Let's let's go slur her ass. Let's reduce her and let's reduce her and diminish her to something that white Americans, white people in the 1800s were calling black folks. Like, are you fucking serious? Get the fuck out of here. This is the typical disgraceful shit that you have going on in this country. Fuck country in women's basketball. Man, oh man. Cheryl Miller, but you ain't say shit about Jackson. You ain't say shit about Matt Barnes. Please. And the reality is, most professional men's basketball players, most black male professional basketball players agree with Cheryl Miller, which is why you haven't heard anybody have a problem with it. But folks, you let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback on this. I guess if Cheryl Swoops said it, would you change your mind on her and now call her the same thing? If Cheryl Swoops came out with that comment, would you have a problem with it? Would you call her a coon? I don't know. Maybe you would. Maybe you would. But you guys leave a comment. You let me know your thoughts. Sure to like, subscribe, and follow. This is Rudy's Rant. We talk facts over feelings. Come on now.